Hi, I'm Nancy. I'm a graphic artist, but I used to be a software developer. We're all really proud of our technical skills, but we can take them farther if we get buy-in from other people, our boss, our clients, our team, maybe even venture capitalists. So let's add visuals to our ideas to explain them to these people, especially if our ideas are new or complex. Visuals can also help get their attention and keep it in this world of information overload. First, let's give up the cheesy clip art and use infographics instead. It's a really trendy term. It's so trendy that there's parodies, people are boasting about it. But I think we can think about how an infographic can best serve our communication needs. Basic infographics start with numbers. Will your client, while multitasking, get anything out of a table full of numbers or even an Excel chart? Let's provide context at a glance. What kind of chart best suits our data? Got percentages? Pie chart or tree map. Change over time? A graph. Categories? Bar charts or radar charts, polar and bubble charts. Here's a multi-dimensional bubble chart that looks fun. If your data is geographic, use a map to display it. If your data is really complex, you might want to try one of these polar area diagrams. Simple isn't always best. For comparisons, we have a whole lot of different options. So let's pick the one where the emphasis helps us convey the ideas we want to get across. This zombie chart is a great example of asking a single question to conceptualize an infographic. It's so trendy, and what you're hearing tonight, we need to separate out these threads. You've just heard about big data, and visualization is also used in coming up with ideas, but let's keep talking about explaining. Are we informing, or are we persuading? We have to keep in mind our purpose as we decide which data we want to display and what context graphics we can add to it. If we keep thinking of a story, we're helping our audience. And speaking of stories, have you seen this trend? I ask, is this the right medium? Do people love scrolling? How about animation? Well, at least with these, we'll get a lot of blog links to it and perhaps help our search ranking. A good infographic is always thinking about its audience. Often, they don't think like us and they don't know what we know. Our level of detail needs to reflect how interested they are. This waterfall diagram probably looks familiar, but it's got a new middle step where we summarize the message we want our information to convey. And then, having done that, we want to make visuals to convey it. Does that mean we need a professional designer? Well, maybe. What's at stake if you fail to make your case? But even if you do it yourself, design is not arbitrary prettification. Now let's apply these ideas to another kind of infographic, maybe a timeline or a flow chart. Boxes and arrows get old really fast. Or before and after, what information ends up where? Boxes and arrows, again, in diagrams for software architecture, interdependencies. Let's replace them with something that helps tell the story better. So we've seen that we can use graphics to help our people understand and enjoy our ideas, but we're not done until we've done QA. Yeah, QA for pictures. That includes testing the user experience with typical audience members, different learning styles. If an infographic is bad, is it bad data or is it the way it's represented? One kind of failure is distorting the data. XKCD points out another one. And then there's info porn. This is ridiculous, even though I'm not as rigid as Tufty about chart junk. Some infographics really pay to reward close study. I love this one because it shows us the 4 things an infographic has to have, it's self-referential, in order to be successful. And you can even decide what kinds of failures you get if you are in different parts of the Venn diagram. So let's pick the visual that will replace 1,000 words, the picture, in our storytelling. I'm Nancy McClure of Hand to Mouse. Next Wednesday is the local data visualization group meeting. There's a link to it on that bottom link, and may you always be at the center of the diagram.